Howdy, my name is Andrew Stakes, and I'm a communications major. I used to be in marketing. Now I'm a communications major. It's my first year actually being able to take communications classes because I had a little catch up. But one of the cool things is what I want to do after I graduate is definitely become a communications specialist at USAA. What that means is basically I'm able to communicate, through the company in ways that the consumer or maybe the people who are buying products from USA, they don't really understand. So I get to step in and I get to reiterate things that the company might want the customer to know and that they don't fully understand. So it's definitely what I want to do, and then hopefully, if I'm able to achieve it, definitely become a vice president of communications at USAA. Or even any company for that matter. I would love to be that. That is definitely my main goal in life, is to become, a vice president of communications, or even maybe one of the big wigs at a company that involves communications. So that's definitely what I want to do when I graduate. My original major was definitely marketing, and one day at work, I happened to be communicating with one of my coworkers, and give you a little background information. What we call turn is the first 14 days of August when everybody moves out of apartments. We go in and we make them look brand new again. So we rip carpet out, we change out fixtures, we get new beds, new frames, new furniture in all these apartments, and that's what we do for 14 days, from 6 a.m. to about 2 a.m. every single day. Now, the reason this is my hero story is definitely because in my boss's eyes, I'm a hero in that split second, because I was working with a temporary worker who is supposed to specialize in what we call make-readies, getting an apartment made ready for people to move in, which we were doing the first 14 days of August, because August 15th, we have everybody move in. We got to make sure those apartments look brand new and that they are acceptable for people to move into. So I was working with one of my coworkers, and along with that, we had two temporary workers working with us. However, these guys did not know what they were doing whatsoever. So I had to step in and I had to communicate to them what they needed to do. Now, that's not why I was a hero in my boss's eyes whatsoever. The situation that I was called a hero in her eyes was, we were working in an apartment. The two residents, it was a two-bedroom, and the two residents had actually lived there for all 4 years of their college career. So if you can imagine, four college-age guys living in an apartment for 4 years, it gets pretty rowdy. So basically, we had to replace the carpets, the beds, the furniture, everything. So we had completely gutted this apartment. And we had actually gotten upgraded furniture, upgraded fixtures. So we started taking all the fixtures down: ceiling fans, lights, vents, everything. We were taking everything down. And when we were working, one of the temps actually started to take down a fixture that he wasn't supposed to, at least not in that state yet. And what he happened to do is he happened to cross two wires and he tripped the breaker. When he was doing that, the breaker tripped, and so the apartment lost power. Obviously I knew exactly what had happened, because he yelped out because he got a little numb on his fingertips because of the electricity in the wires. So what I did is I walked over there and I slowly explained to him what I needed him to do. And my boss heard, a lot of stuff throughout that day, so she was constantly checking in on us, making sure that we were doing good. And in that moment, she had actually heard him yelp because she was standing outside of the front door, checking in on the group across the hall. So she comes running in, freaking out, and when she walks in, she sees that not only had we had the apartment pretty much gutted already, but we had the floors taped up, the brand new carpet was covered with plastic wrap. We had already started painting the walls in one of the rooms, and so my team was already ahead of the game. However, when she looked up and saw the temp guys messing with a fixture, she got really scared because they're not supposed to do that. And it was really cool as I had my back to her, and she just was listening to the way I was talking to her, to the temp worker. And I slowly explained to him what needed to be done. And then the next time when he did want to work on a fixture because he thought he knew what he was doing, I showed him how the wires needed to be crossed and how the wires needed to not be touching each other. And then I walked over the breaker, flipped it back on, showed him how to do that, and we got the fixture changed out and everything. And all the while, my boss was incognito mode. She was hiding from me pretty much, and I didn't even realize that she was in the apartment until afterwards, when she had pulled me aside and thanked me for what I was doing. And that was really cool. I'd only been working for her for about 2 months, and the only reason I was a team lead at the time was because I had a background in construction, and the only construction that the experience that I gained, that I actually used at this time was the fixtures, electrical, learning how to paint in a straight line, stuff like that. That these temps that they should have known how to do because they were technically classified as make-ready temps, and it was really really strange knowing that this 40-year-old guy didn't know how to do something a 21-year-old did. That gave me like a little self-confidence boost in and of itself, knowing that I was teaching someone double my age how to do things. And that kind of spoke volumes to my boss, and in her eyes, I was a hero in that moment. However, later on that day, I totally screwed up and crossed wires together. So definitely not a hero 100% of the time, but it was definitely like a nice little self confidence boost. Get that warm fuzzy feeling inside, knowing that your boss appreciates you. So that's definitely why I considered that moment in time a hero moment. In conclusion, I learned that one of my gifts was definitely communicating with people, being able to articulate what needed to get done and what needed to and how it needed to get done. And so I think that's really cool in of myself. So that's why I decided to go into communications rather than stay in marketing. My top 3 goals for the class are, definitely to develop a strength in professional speech and professional writing, and being able to hold my own in a in a professional setting. And I also, I'd love to, get an A in this class because this is my first online class I've ever taken. And I'm kind of worried because I'm definitely a procrastinator when it comes to, assignments, but, hopefully I'll be able to pass and get everything squared away. My third and final goal for this class are definitely find new ways to communicate ideas to other people. I feel like I'm very closed-minded in that I always, address the issues or address ideas in a certain mindset. And so hopefully I'll be able to discover a way that I change that.